Cooper. We're from ElevateSportsCards.com.
So,
what is this enchanted wall?
Okay, so today we have a visitor, and it's our dad. And it's our
special dad. Where's the donuts?
So, we're just going to ask him a few questions.
Welcome
to
the Daddy Interrogation.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so let's get on. So, how old were you when you started collecting cards?
I was 6 years old. It was 1977.
Wow.
I went to a Dodger game with my grandma, and my brother bought a stack, probably about 50 or maybe 100 1976 Topps baseball cards.
Yeah, that must have been.
You
must have been excited.
What was your first sporting event you went to?
The same night. It was that Dodger game in 1977. And I sat right behind the dugout in a seat with my grandma, and my grandpa sat in the outfield with my brother.
Okay. So,
Lucky!
Yes.
why?
Let's go Dodgers! I freaking love you, Dodgers!
So,
once again, roll the clip. Roll.
Yeah.
Let's go Dodgers!
Let's go Dodgers! I freaking love you, Dodgers!
So this is a question I'm interested in too. Why do you like cards so much?
You know, when I was a little kid and I saw them, at first it was the way that they looked that I liked so much. But then after I started to see their statistics, because back in my day, my friends and I, we would always look at the newspaper and see how each player did every night. So we'd see how many hits they got in a game, and we'd learn all their statistics. And then I would look at the back of all my cards, and then on the back, it would tell me all their statistics of all their best years. And I just fell in love ever since with those.
So basically you went like this. This is your brain.
Yeah. So
Question number 4.
Okay.
How many cards do you think you have? Is it a whole house full? A whole attic full?
It's hard to know because I've been collecting all over my lifetime.
for like over.
But I would say maybe 20,000 is what I think.
You know what I think?
What?
About around a 1 million.
Yeah.
You think so?
Because
Yeah.
it's you started in 1970. I don't know,
1977.
1977.
1977.
1977.
So, what cards do you like the best? Basketball, baseball, or football?
That's a good question. I think baseball because they have the most history. They're the ones that cards
Next
were started
question.
for. And so they have the oldest ones, and I like the oldest ones.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good answer.
Okay.
Since you like baseball out of all of them, what is your favorite year for baseball? Batter up.
So there's a real close race between 1960 and 1956.
The rubbing
Topps.
in the hair.
Yeah, those two, they were to me like artwork. When I looked at them when I was a little kid, I was like, oh, one day I want to own the whole set of those. I don't have the whole set, but I have a lot from those 2 years. Those
So
are my
basically
favorites.
the race of the turtle in the hair.
Kinda,
Yeah.
and they used to make them like artwork. They used to be almost like a painting, not like a picture, or not like a photo.
Yeah.
Plus,
So,
and add on to the how many cards you have. If you probably bought a house, you could almost fill it up with all your cards.
I think so. I think you're right.
yeah.
And all the special cards would be
what's
downstairs.
Okay. So, what's your favorite year for basketball cards? I'm pretty sure this might be a hard question for you.
You know, this is more. It's more modern. Some of the more modern cards, basketball cards, I like more. 1992, I liked a lot. That was Shaq's rookie year. I do like 1980 basketball because that was Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Those are my first two basketball type cards that I had.
And
legend.
it's pretty. I could see that's pretty hard because you need to find like a year with your favorite players that have not retired or like are not even in the league. Like 1985, Dr. J and Moses Malone were like they were in the league.
What is your favorite year of football cards?
I like 1979 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like 1980 a lot because they were still old school looking, and they would have their action photo cards. More modern football cards these days are better, but there's so many different brands. It's like I struggle with knowing exactly which one.
Like
Yeah,
like
because
Donruss, Upper Deck, and this is basically
like usually tops would be the best cards you would get, right?
Mhm.
Tops.
In the past, yeah.
Yeah.
But there
So
was only just a few in the past. When I first started, there was only Tops, and then Donruss came in 1981, and then Fleer, I think 1982. Then it was those three: Tops, Donruss, and Fleer, and that was it until the early 90s, and then there was a bunch, and then people stopped liking cards. But I still collected some.
Yeah.
All right.
So where did you get your cards from? Where did you get them when you were young?
So, I got my cards mostly from the grocery store, Vaughn's by my house. We would buy them in packs of 3 packs at a time. And then when I was a kid, I went to Panda Bear. It was this ice cream shop near our house where we'd play video games and we'd be able to win baseball cards if we got certain scores on video games.
Lucky!
That's the dream.
Fair!
And that's
Do
where
they
we got
still
all the
have
cards.
that today?
No wonder
think
you
so.
have a bunch of like. No wonder you have like a bunch of
I
baseball
wish I could
cards
go
more
back
than
in time
most.
and do that and win Pokemon cards.
Yeah, that's what it
Pokemon
was.
Yellow!
Yeah.
Yep, and so we would all go in there all the time, and
Like
we'd
this.
get ice cream for
Ice cream?
playing games and win ice cream, or we'd win
Time
candy
to get our gaming
or
skills,
gum or
Daddy.
cards.
Time to get on my gaming skills.
Okay.
Uppercut. You win a 2020 ultra shiny rare card.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So let's
What's next?
question time now.
Do your friends like sports cards?
Oh yeah, my best friend John Lombardo, Dominic Farrar, and me. We would all trade cards all the time, collect them, and my friend John was always, his cards were in perfect condition. He always knew how important it was to keep the cards in perfect condition. But your daddy struggled sometimes. I was rough, or I'd bend them.
Yeah, like you're going like this, but you're squeezing a bit too hard so it doesn't slip out of your hands.
And then another thing we used to do is we used to put baseball cards in our hats, like our baseball hats. So we'd play Little League Baseball, and we'd have cards that was stuck in our hat, like of our favorite players.
Like,
No.
I hope I be like this kid.
Yes.
All right, Gavin Lux, time to.
Okay. So number 11. What are your favorite cards that you own, and why do you like them?
Okay.
Show
these
the cards.
Okay. So here, first, we're going to set them on here, right?
Yeah.
This is from 1960. It's Stan Musial. And 1960 was my favorite year of collecting one of them, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
And Stan Musial is an all-time great. He's one of the best ever, for
Be
sure,
careful,
in the
Zach.
National League, if not completely.
Yeah.
This 1960 Yogi Berra is one of my
Yeah.
favorites. My brother got it for me at a card show at the West Covina Mall when I was a kid. I remember I sent him, and I had my allowance money, and I got this for $8 in like 1985, I think.
You mean by your brother? You mean our uncle?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so he picked that one out because I told him to pick out a good card for me.
Yeah,
So that
Yogi Berra.
1960 Yogi Berra.
Yeah, Yogi Berra.
Next is this Kobe Bryant
Combined.
number 1 of 10,000 combined with, I think it's Julio Cruz. Or,
One of
Jose
10
Cruz.
1 of 10,000?
It's a special classic, and it's when
Does that
he
mean
was
there's
really young.
10,000 in the
You
world?
can see it.
Yeah.
Does it mean
I think this might
That
be
they're
like rookie Kobe because he doesn't
Wait.
have a big fro, you
Yeah.
know,
But
in one of his years.
is that the how many are in the world, or is that the chance of polling?
No, how many in the world? One,
Yeah.
like you got the number 1 first card. That
Yes.
was the first one that ever released. You're
Mhm.
lucky.
I know.
Big, lucky
Okay, next
fella.
is the jersey I'm wearing, which is Eric Dickerson's rookie card. This one was one I worked hard to get. and
Yeah, I can see.
really cared about. Do we want to put the trays over here too?
Yeah.
Leave that there. So.
Yeah, Eric Dickerson. Yeah, I remember you like showing clips to me and Cooper, and like we would show Eric Dickerson like be like unnettable. He would be unnettable, and like he couldn't be stopped. So
yes, he was so big because he was tall. He was one of the first running backs that was over 6'2". He's like 6'3" or 6'4", but he was faster than everybody else.
yeah.
And he was on the Rams, which is my all-time favorite team. The Rams, the Dodgers, and the Lakers. So he's the Rams' best
We're
all-time
LA
player.
fans.
I think, yes, we are. Next is a 1973 Pete Rose. I've
Rose.
always loved this photo because of the way that he's looking. He wasn't a home run hitter, but he's looking almost like he was hitting a home run in that picture.
Was it the
But
ball
I
in
always
the air?
remember wanting that card.
Was the ball in the air? And he's like,
Yeah. Next is Terry Bradshaw rookie card. I got this because I was at my dad's friend's house, and here, hand it to Cooper. And when I was there, my dad's friend
wow, it's heavy.
said, "Hey, you like cards? There's some cards in my son's room in the closet. If you want, you can have any of them." And that's where I found the Terry Bradshaw rookie card
Plus,
in
Daddy?
that closet.
What a
That Pete
coincidence!
Rose card, when you first saw it, did you think he hit a home run?
No, because he never really hit home runs ever. He just was
A base hitter?
But what made him so special is he tried so hard. He was the heart. He called him Charlie Hustle, because he hustled everywhere. When he got a walk, 4 balls, base on balls, he always, for more than 20 years, sprinted to first base as fast as he could.
Like this?
Yes, just like that. And so I was always impressed with that, but when we were in Little League, we used to do PDs. That's a head first slide. He was the best first to go head first slides and the best head first slides.
What does head first slides mean?
We'll look it up on YouTube. Pete
Pete
Rose slide. And so then we would all do it in Little League.
Like this?
Yeah, you dive like Superman and then you slide in.
It was actually happening.
Yep.
Nope.
Next is Jerry Rice rookie card. I remember I bought this at a card shop, a real good card shop in West Covina.
What happened
the
to
guy
overtime
named-
cards?
The guy who worked there was a really good businessman, and he would always give me a bunch of good deals because I like to buy cards there. Next is my greatest pull of my life. I got this out of a pack of cards from Vaughn's, and that's a Joe Montana rookie card.
This case is heavy.
I know.
You're joking.
I put it in that case.
You pulled it. Yep, there you go. You pulled a Joe Montana?
Rookie card out of a pack.
You're
But
insane.
when
Next
I
card.
pulled it, listen to this. So I didn't know that I pulled it at the time that I pulled it. I just picked a bunch of cards from that year. And then 2 years later, or 3 years later, I was at a card show, and I saw that card in 1985, and it was $350. And I thought, I have that card. And I went home and where all my cards were organized, and I found it. And I knew that it was because I pulled it. Next is my favorite player of all time.
Come on, Daddy. Maybe you should be called nicknamed the luckiest man on earth.
Maybe.
Back to the future reference. Back to the two future reference where they call it the luckiest man.
On earth. Not in the whole galaxy, because there's aliens that are smarter.
There are.
Yeah.
Aliens are smarter. No one has to know how to build a UFO. Aliens do.
Next is
Alright, we're off subject.
next is my favorite all-time player in his rookie card, Earl Campbell.
Yeah, Earl Campbell. He's like,
Oh yeah.
he's like,
Earl
if you
Cam-
run into him, he's like, I'm gonna beat you. If you try and tackle him, he's like, I'm gonna beat you if you try and tackle me.
Oh, I remember that time that he was running and they started tearing his jersey.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
He's
It was
like, it
against
was
the
like
Rams.
Superman.
It was like Thanos. It's
It
like
was like
just,
Thanos And it's like the adventures, and then it was just running through.
And also she's like a fat cat, and then it just little kitties just try to punch him. And then
It's a fast cat, and then this is basically it.
And last but not least, it's not in great shape, but this 1956 Pee Wee Reese is probably my all-time favorite because I love the artwork, and I love how in the background he's turning a double play, and it's just an awesome card. It's exactly what I think about when I think about baseball cards, especially. It's like reminds me of the Sandlot when they're out just playing baseball together, and it's just the epitome of what baseball cards mean to me. This is the perfect baseball card for me.
Yeah.
The great
So I also have a question.
Bambino,
for
the
that.
great Bambi. I thought.
Yeah. So I have a question for you about that card.
Okay.
So like, how did you get it, and like when and what age did you get it in?
That's a good question. I think I got this originally. There was a baseball card shop in Laverne when I was a kid, and once a month, I saved my allowance, and my brother and his friend would take me to this baseball card shop. And at this baseball card shop, they would have cards that weren't in great shape in a bin, like the Econo bin, or where those are the cards you could afford. And I was a little kid, and I would always get one of my cards from that. And this was one of them. And then they also had a Carl Yastrzemski rookie card in that bin, and that's how I got that one. But that Carl Yastrzemski rookie card's in really bad shape, but it's still a rookie card.
So didn't the guy give you deals? Or was that another shop?
Yeah, the Laverne shop, the guy didn't give me very many deals. The guy in West Covina gave me a lot of deals because he wasn't as much a baseball card guy. He was more of a businessman who was selling cards. So the guy in West Covina would always like put groups of cards together and give me a really good deal. So he'd charge me, if there was a $40 card, he would say, okay, that one's $40, but if you put these 3 cards together, I'll sell them to you for $60. And those 3 cards together were usually worth $90 or $100. And he would give me great deals. And then there was nothing he was attached to in the whole store. Like, no matter what I wanted, he would make a deal with me. So,
Like everything you bought there was just a deal?
correct.
Okay.
Luckiest salesman on earth.
Yes.
Yeah. So good to know. I really do like, it's very good to know about, your cards and all that stuff. I'm glad we got to talk about it today.
Me too. And what I care about most with you guys is having the same fun that I had when I was a kid, opening up the cards. We would get so excited, my friends and I, we'd go to the store, and then we'd all pull the cards together at the same time and see who had the best ones. And then as we just started collecting, you collect the ones that are more rare. But the best experience, too, was when I looked at the stats, and then I would talk to my dad about the stats, and I'd say, did you know that in 1973, Pete Rose batted .362? And then my dad would be like, no, I didn't. And I would, just study the backs of the
I
cards.
knew your dad liked reading.
Yes.
Like, basically every time you saw him, he would be reading.
Yes, that is true.
And I'm pretty sure one of his favorite things is Sports Illustrated.
No, he was more,
Like big books.
study?
yes, like big books.
Oh,
Okay.
big brain, big brain.
So
All right.
Thank
So,
you, Dad, for
thank you
for being on this
yeah.
show.
And
Well,
thanks.
you
yeah.
guys keep going, and I'm excited to see your guys' card shop grow and your guys' station. It looks like you guys are doing a great job, and just make sure you help families to enjoy the way that we got to enjoy it in our time. And that's what I think is most important, especially with you guys sharing that with your friends.
Yeah. So go to elevatesportscards.com. Follow us.
To get cards.
Yeah, to get some cards. Not all these.
Or comics.
Yeah.
And Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because me and Zachary so used to to go to Elevated Sports Cards to get some of these awesome cards.
Yeah, we.
And then
Not today, though.
not today. Follow us on Facebook and then go to Instagram, Elevate Sports Cards, and also Facebook, Elevate Sports Cards. Like and subscribe. Turn on the bell
and notifications.
Like and subscribe
and turn on the bell
and notifications to never miss out on a dang video.
Video.
What?
Yeah, video.
Alright.
Bye. Awesome cards.